What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me.
Right.
I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard is supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we were even fathers. Why doesn't my father like is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird. Needed that. So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is a rejection.
You see, what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband. And stuff like that.
All righty. What's down with you?
Never much. What's going on this evening?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Yeah, I see you locked and loaded. What's been going on with you?
Man, just grinding. Things been taking off, been blessing. In the plans to be hosting a national radio morning show in the fall.
Okay.
Everything with my nonprofit taking off. Got everything kind of locked and loaded. I'm just grinding hard.
How was the Juneteenth?
Oh yeah, it went off wonderfully. We getting it edited, chopped up, looking all pretty. So we gonna me and Chanel, we're gonna have it out hopefully within the next week or so. So
okay.
And we probably planning the next one for August 17th.
Okay.
That's gonna be another big one. But I want to thank everybody that came out and supported the effort. Banky Pound was tremendous. All the speakers were wonderful. It was a good Juneteenth and Father's Day weekend event. So I appreciate everybody that supported us. So thank you.
Like you said, if you can reach one, your job is done.
Right.
Welcome to the Speak On It podcast, 2K24. I'm the host, DJ Black. Host here, George. And we're gonna start this evening off on a kind of down note. This little girl right here, named Ashley Barnes, has was missing for like a week, and they found her body in a ditch. I want to say Monday or over the weekend, and autopsy came back today. She had been strangled. She was hanging with a group of girls. They say allegedly she asked for a ride home, asked this guy to give her a ride home, and never made it. Never made it home. And so they still haven't. They have a name. Some people just giving out the names of the last person she was seen with. A couple of people have been questioned already, and they haven't nobody been arrested. None of that. This going on in Bastrop, Louisiana, and I know the grandmother, because her grandmother used to kind of babysit us, you know. So I know the grandmother, but yeah. So they found her in a ditch. I think they say rolled up in like a carpet or something and thrown in the ditch. I mean, it's just crazy. And the police, I guess, supposedly, you know, they trying to do the best they can, but it's a small city, underpaid, don't have the money for forensics or to get FBI down there. So needless to say, she's added to the list of unsolved murders, which is well over 50, I'm sure. And the message that I want to give out is, and then they say it's some females that was with her that's trying to come forward, but now they're being threatened. My thing is this: in a small town like that, with the police force not equipped to do what they do, I guess I'll say. I'm not gonna say what they need to do, what they want to do or they would like to do, because I don't want to really 100% down the police force, because I actually know one or two workers on there that tries to go far and beyond, but they only have so many resources. So what they're gonna have to do down there, they need a village, okay? They need neighborhood watch. But the town is so small and everybody is trying to stay out of everybody's business now. So if you see a suspicious car down the road, you know, our mom and them used to say that car wasn't on this road. Especially Big Mama say, hey, that car done been down here 2 nights in a row. They know this stuff. So what they're going to have to do in order to solve these murders is teens, especially when there's teenagers under the age of 17. Once you're 17, I feel like you gang banging, you thugging, you doing what you do, you get it how you live. And I have very, very little. And I just speak my mind. I ain't looking for friends, I ain't looking for support. I just have very little remorse for those teens, especially 17 plus, that's out there thugging and they end up meeting their maker or being unalive. I feel sorry, kinda. I'm sympathetic to the family, but I can't be sympathetic to the individual because I'm sure someone reached out to him and he just chose to just try to be Boosie or whatever you see on TV. So when there's a teen 16 and under that don't know what life is about,
right,
and they get caught up, they hanging out, they're trying to look like NBA YoungBoy, and they get a hold to the guns and things, but they don't really know what they're doing. They're trying to portray an image, and some of them grew up, yes sir, but when they get on social media, they're throwing the F you fingers up and trying to look hard, to blend in or to be accepted in their society, their environment, their habitat. So what they're going to have to do in order to crack down on, especially the teen crime in that city, teens, y'all just going to have to start snitching. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all say snitches, but shit, when you don't snitch, you end up in ditches. So my thing is, this has been going on too much down here. Every damn year I'm hearing about teenagers getting killed and unsolved murders, and I've been hearing, I'm talking about it's stacking up. So my thing is, the teens are gonna have to start talking, man. You know what I'm saying?
And parents got to start talking too. Parents and adults have to start talking. It's going to be a big part of it. Is that disclosure, and they're not keeping secrets, and sometimes you can't stay out of folks' business.
The adults are staying out of the business. The teens are out there in the street.
Right.
So that's why when they see stuff, they know how to get on Discord. They know how to go onto these incognito sites. So get you a if not a throwaway, get you a what's those little temporary text talk phones? Call the police in anonymous and tell them what the hell going on, because you could be next, or it's gonna hit home. Your brother, sister, cousin, best friend. It can happen to you. So my thing is, they're gonna have to start saying something, because the cops can only go by what's being said. And I understand the G code. Hell, we all have been in the streets, but the difference in us being in the streets and y'all being in the streets is it wasn't out there like that.
Exactly.
We respected the families of the people we beef with, so we would beat them down. We'll fight. We'll beat them down, grab a pipe, and wrap them across the head, put them in a hospital for 3 days or 2 weeks. But we didn't kill them.
Right.
We understood that once you unalive them, they can't come back. It's not a video game, even though we were playing the Mortal Kombats and the Street Fighters and all that. But we understood that they couldn't come back. So that's the difference in when we grew up and when y'all grew up. So when it was code of silence on the streets, that's because he just got beat up, and it ain't none of our business. We ain't see nothing. But you guys are being unalived daily. So it's time for something to change. And all these people, y'all, Bachelor need to invest in doorbell cameras. We're not tripping on nothing where I'm at, because hell, we got doorbell cameras on every house in the whole neighborhood. So if you thought about taking a bike, if you thought about stealing some patio furniture, somebody gonna catch you on that camera. And when the cops come to investigate, they go to every house and ask about their doorbell cameras or the cameras that's outside. Because we got cameras all around our house. So anybody who tried to do anything here, you caught from the beginning of the road when you walk down all the way to the side, back, whatever. We got you. Then we in a cul-de-sac. So The only reason you got a reason to come down here is you visiting one of the 3 neighbors or us. So my thing is that team needs neighborhood watch. That town needs need to put cameras. The police need to invest. And I think when Henry Cotton was in there, he was going to do it in a park. But damn, a park. You need these cameras on the major streets, the main highways, the North Washingtons that's going this way, the South Washingtons, the Madison, the East Madison, West Madison. You need those cameras there, and a couple on the main streets that's traveled in between Main Street and different things like that. And that way, you can see when a vehicle turned. You know what street it was on, how it was driving, what's the license plate, did it have blood? They just need to invest in more things to make that city safe, because they're losing them. They're losing the teams like that.
Yeah.
And so that being said, like I say, the autopsy just came back, and from what I was told, she was strangled to death. So they say, she put up a pretty good fight. They say but I understand from what they're saying, allegedly she was fighting a man, preferably probably in his 30s, and she was 14 years old.
Right.
Yeah, 14 years old, and didn't get a chance to experience no kind of life. Now, I don't know how she was living, you know what I'm saying? But what I do know is 14 years old, you don't know what life is. You don't know what living is. And if you are out there thugging or imitating what you saw on TikTok, YouTube, or social media, or the videos, you're literally just acting a part. But from what I understand, her mom is deceased, trying to be raised by the grandfather. He's probably 60 something, So, and 14 years old, and you got this 60-year-old man that's probably got heart issues and, whatever his problems is. And he's just trying to raise a child that was dropped off to him due to parent being deceased, and then the father, in and out. I don't really know the details on how she was living, but that's what I understood, that it was really no grounding in the household. I really don't know, but I just know I get tired of logging onto social media thinking I'm finna see a great day, and all this is bad news. A teen found dead in Bastrop, Louisiana, and then they're saying it's more missing. It's like, when does it stop? Because they don't listen to the adults anymore. It's no village. There's no respect. Mind your own business, but you see what minding your own business does. You see that. You see what not neighborhood watch does.
Exactly.
It's taking our teens, and if the children are our future, we're not going to have much of a future left if all of them getting strangled and shot and killed in that city. And then people say, well, they killing everywhere. That's true. But guess what? We're in a town where nobody know us from a campaign, and my family, we just together. We're together out here. You see what I'm saying? So it hurts worse when it's in a town, a small town where everybody know you. You know everybody. You know somebody. So if we hear that it was a shooting in the next city across from us, we didn't know them. We're in the house safe. But when you're at home in that small town, you in a small town, anybody who get shot, stabbed, go to the hospital, get arrested, you're going to know somebody in their family, you know what I'm saying? And used to, that would be a good thing. Everybody can come together and, get it. But now with everybody minding their own business, the teens are not saying nothing, and it's just going to continue. It's been a continuing cycle because no one's saying anything. Then they want to bash the police because they're not catching anybody. But how can the police catch anybody if they don't have any leads? If everybody ain't seen nothing, I don't know nothing, and so it just needs to stop. So I don't know what they can do in that community, because trying to form trying to form a community to come out and talk. We don't know if that's even going to work, you know. So it's just crazy. I don't know where to start. I don't know how they can begin to even try to deal with this situation. But my prayers go out to the family, the Barnes, the Lions. And like I said, I know Cynthia, which is the grandmother. But it's just terrible that we have to live through watching these teens die daily with people knowing things and not saying nothing. And so, like I say, y'all need to stand up, start snitching. And what they say, snitches, you get stitches, but when you don't snitch, you end up in bitches. As it like they say the girl Ashley did. So prayers goes out to the families, man, and y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better, man. Y'all got to do better because we losing these teams left and right, man, in that city, and they're not the parents are not financially stable to get out that city. So you have to do what you have to do to survive. And I just hate that that's just a sad situation. But shout out to the Lions and the Barnes. Austin, what's happening with you, man?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Man, and
What's up, George?
What's going on?
Not much.
yeah, I was just on there preaching to him. It's another death found in Strop City with no leads. But they got one or two people that they want to question, but people know more than what they're saying. And then the ones who know stuff, people pulling guns on them allegedly, from what I hear. So it's crazy. But I just don't know. Everybody like, you don't need to be mentoring and you need to do this and that, man. I know people right now in that city that's trying to do these mentors and trying to get one or two. They holding all kind of baseball camps, football camps. Ain't none of that stuff happening. They barely showing up to the camps. It's not what it used to be. That stuff worked good in the 90s. It was perfect in the 90s.
Right.
Of youngsters, the new millennium youngsters, team.
They ain't doing it. It's too easy to do lazy parenting these days. And I'm not putting it all on the parents either, but it's too easy not to be involved and not engage with the kids and not really know what they're going on because, like I said before, a lot of times when my Generation X was raising kids, we kind of overcompensated. So we let them have more leeway and maybe a little bit more freedom and latitude than what we should have. And as a result, we've given up a certain matter of discernment in terms of what they do and who they deal with. So we need to correct that. And we need to not necessarily clamp down or hinder our kids, but make sure we a lot more vigilant in terms of who they around, what they doing, and really how they living. Because when they're outside of a site, we don't know what they doing.
Right.
How many parents say my child wouldn't do that, and your child is very one doing it? How many mothers do you see on the news crying when they shun?
As mine.
My baby, my baby. Well, your baby was out there gangbanging. But if we interceded earlier and put those interventions in place in our own communities, in our own Black communities, to help stem the tide on this, we can avoid a lot of this. So we need to get back to that. We need to get back to some traditionalism in our neighborhoods and our homes. And we need to adopt a more conservative mindset and approach in our homes and communities.
Well, a lot of the communities have gone to material-based, sexualized, um, materialistic mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's causing a demise in the community and a demise in the youth and their thinking. I mean, a lot of kids can't even critical think these days.
Nope.
They're
They
not
can't think
trying.
outside of the box. They're tunnel visioned. So they can't even come up with any good ideas, you
Yeah.
know.
And a lot of it is a man's job to instill that into his children, that logical thinking, that critical thinking, and we not present enough to do that, or it's not taken. You know, I mean, you can give a child the best of circumstances, and this can still happen. So nobody's immune from it. But since we know what mechanisms to put in place to prevent it, we need to do so, and we need to do so, quickly.
You know, a lot of people, you have to be intentional about knowing who your kids hanging out with. You have to
Right.
get to know their friends. You know, a lot of people don't take the time to do that anymore. They just let them go hang with whomever.
Yeah.
And but you have to be intentional about knowing who your kids are with. You know, I didn't really hang with anyone per se when I was younger, except for, black and a few more select friends. But all of our families knew each other or knew of each other.
Right.
So, you know, we have to get back to that and identifying who these people are that
Right.
your kids are dealing with and knowing their families. You
You know,
know,
and ever since integration, we've not only sustained degradation in our values in our homes as individuals and as men and as women, but in our whole communities. There is not a village anymore. You know, we spend more time gossiping to our neighbor than waving to our neighbor, even though our neighbors see our kids every day. When your
yeah.
kid come up missing, the first thing you do is go to the neighbors, but we don't know who our neighbors are anymore.
Well,
There's no
I
sense
mean,
of community anymore.
better yet, you don't even know your neighbor.
Right, right.
You don't even know who's living next to you.
Right, and we got to get away from that because we got to understand something. We responsible for our own villages. Ain't no white angel gonna come down and save us and make everything right. So we need to have our own vigilant men patrolling our own neighborhood, working in conjunction with the police to keep our communities safe. We need to be out when these kids are going to school, making sure people not speeding, walking the kids to school, making sure these young ladies not don't become beholden to a predator. Things like that. It's a lot we can do, but for some reason, when you come to the table with try to come to the table with other black folks and be like, man, we need to do this. I got a plan of action. They ain't trying to do it. I run a nonprofit. You think everybody trying to donate to help black men? Hell no, black folks not doing it. They too busy buying Coach bags and dumb shit like that. When we the ones trying to help the community. So the community, the help is there. We can't go on and complain to my ain't nobody helping. The police ain't this. We got resources. We got each other. We just not using our most valuable resource, and that's our neighbor.
Yeah, there was a time when Miss Hattie used to sit out on the porch and can tell you everything that's going on around your house.
Tell you what time your kids came home, what snacks they had from the corner store, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had a bowl of Fritos, they had a jungle juice, and they came up at 3:45, and I told them go in the house. It used to be like this.
I
Our
know.
family used to be there till they had them girls over there. Them
Mm-hmm.
girls.
They had some company. They had some company. I know y'all don't allow them to have company like that.
And then we end up getting fussed at and getting in trouble because they told it.
But you know how it's interpreted nowadays? Why you watching my child? Why you in our business? Instead of thank you for looking out for my child. So we need a change in mindset. We talked about this at the summit. We need a change in mindset in the community. Of course, I actually go out in communities and propagate this, but people just not listening. But all we can do is, unfortunately, it's a cyclical. It's gonna happen again. We're gonna get outraged. We're not gonna do nothing. It's gonna happen again. We're gonna get outraged for a minute again.
Ambassador, like the guy said, he said it's been going on, and this is a teen himself. Well, he in his 20s now, but they gonna always be 16 to me. But yeah, Lil Fred, you know what I'm saying? I know him. He was a cool kid. I used to let him in the dances and stuff, and he had a tendency to go down that road. But when he got older, and he chose to get out to stay out of trouble, which I was proud of. And Wanda Harris, he said there are no real men out there anymore.
We are. I mean, we are out there. We just not getting the support we need. I'm not gonna say we're not out there. We are definitely out there doing the work, but we don't have the support we need when we go and try to go into these communities and speak and get people to engage us. Like, we get crickets. We get crickets. So I don't want to hear people talk about ain't no help. It's help everywhere. You just don't want it. Or you want to focus on other shit until something happens, then you want the help. But then when you need the help on that consistent basis and it's being offered to you, you don't support it.
That's why I say we need to speak now to stop it from hitting close to home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Something you have to change it, because when it hits close to home, now everybody in an uproar. No, you need to step out here now and do what you need to do.
You know what I like to know from people when they say there aren't any real dads out there or men anymore is I want to know where you've been looking. Have you tried to seek out some mentors? Have you looked into some big brothers or organizations like that? You know, um, so there are some resources out there. And of course, you just need to vet whoever you're allowing your children to deal with. But there are some good men out there.
You know what the problem is? Can I say something honestly? I might piss some people off when I say this.
Piss them off.
What a lot of it is, when these women come into these organizations trying to find mentors for their sons and children, they trying to find a man.
They trying to
They
what?
not trying to find no mentor. They trying to find a man for them. That's what they doing. So of course, if a man don't want you, of course you're gonna say, ain't no man out here to help the communities, because you looking for the wrong thing. You out here man shopping instead of looking for the best mentor for your child.
Well,
I've seen it happen.
I'm quite sure you have.
I've had it happen.
You would know. You would know.
I would know. So, you know, you got to keep your priorities in line. There are a lot of mentoring programs. There are a lot of good mentors. I'm a mentor myself. We three good men that are fathers that are raising our kids. I think all three of us would be willing to work in the community. But if we go out to do it, we're going to get apathy. Apathy. But let it be some hood mess. Let it be some ratchet mess. Everybody come running. Everybody want to contribute. I've seen this happen. We are our own worst enemies. And we are a lot of the reason why this stuff continues to happen by our inaction and by our misguided energies, our misguided focus in our communities. We are not focusing on communities. We're not building them up. And I don't want to just rail against us, but it's time for us to start having real conversations, start calling stuff for what it is so we can address it and deal with it. Because our children are dying literally.
I mean, that is true. I mean, you have a lot of some no good men out there, but
Right.
then you have a lot of good men out there. So you just like you have a lot of bad
No
women out
good
there,
women.
you have a lot of good women out there. You just have to identify who they are and find out what environment you want to be in. I was
Right.
watching this show the other night, The Shy, and this girl, she was dating this dude that's a killer gangster type of dude, and she said, "Are you going to be a good role model for my child?" And then he said, "It depends on what kind of man you want him to be." So
Right.
you select the type of dude that you want your child to be led by.
Right. Right.
So if you know this dude is out here doing dirt and you're looking just for a dude that's with fast money, you know what I'm saying? Then a person that's out there uh, working and making his money honestly, whatever that amount is, you know, then you get that's what you get. You get
Right.
what you're seeking.
Right.
So if you want
And the problem
someone
is,
that's going to be positive for your child, whatever positive looks like to you, if positive looks like a dude on the corner selling drugs, and if that's what you want your child, that's what you want for your child, then that's what you get. But if you
right.
want a hard working, honest man, then that's what you seek.
Right. Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
But oftentimes what makes this don't get done in our communities.
Of
Too
course
much
not.
right is what we used to say.
Right. 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 We need to return to common sense, and integration really hurt us. Integration really
Man,
disturbs
I was
people.
talking about that the other day.
Yeah, it really didn't serve us well. And we need to return to a more segregationist mindset, especially in terms of our dollars, to empower ourselves economically. I know I might be getting in deep water with this, but you know, these things really just really bring attention to a lot and many of the problems facing our communities that I'm trying to combat and that we're trying to combat just by having this discussion right now.
Yeah.
But
Yep. They don't hear this.
they don't, yeah, the
They
people
don't
they need
hear
to
this.
hear, the
You
people
got to
they
be
need to
talking
hear
about men.
Well, I mean,
No.
I just really feel that you need to be self-aware,
right,
and I don't. Well, integration probably did mess us up from the standpoint of um, being slower, not being taught as much
right,
uh, when the schools were integrated. So we were already behind. You know what I'm saying? But
mhm,
now that we're living in 2024, right? So it's not really going anywhere, and the kids are more accepting of each other in a lot of aspects. That's why there are a lot of interracial relationships. That's why there are a lot of LBGTQRXYZ acceptance. You know, so we have to learn how to be self-aware and self-controlled
right,
and truly identify who you are in your skin,
right.
right? You can't go out trying to be someone else. You can't go out and try to be white. You can't go out and try to be Asian. You can't go out and try to be Hispanic. You have to be who you are.
Right, and it comes from having a lack of identity in our communities because of the absence of the black man, or the subjugation of the black man, or the ostracizing of the black man that we always have to deal with. So you know, we've been so devalued as much as black men. What identity can we imbue among our young? That's why they're so lost. Because we a lot of it we've been told who we are that we confused with who we are. So how can we impose our will on our kids in terms of having them develop their own identity and knowing who they are? Everything that's out here and is popular, it means to be accepted and consumed. Yes, you can tolerate something, but that doesn't mean you
Hmm.
accept it. And we just gotten so laissez-faire in terms of everything in our communities when it was not that way. It was not intended to be that way. That we're hurting ourselves.
Well, yep. A lot of things are, uh, everyone tries to make everything and everyone inclusive now. You
Yeah.
know, but it's okay to let people be who they are. I have nothing against anyone for being who they are, even racist. If you're a
Hmm.
racist, be a racist, be the best racist you can be. But don't
There you
come
go.
don't come faking and shaking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right. Right.
So own who you are, be who you are, and stand up for what you stand up for.
Right.
And everything doesn't have to be accepted by you
Right.
because everyone else accepts it, right?
And
So,
everyone's not going to accept everything about you.
right. So again, be who you are and let those people that love you for you, right?
Right. Well,
And just stand on your principle, whatever your principle is. If you are against the LGBTQ society, then you have your views. That's you.
right.
That's you. That's you. If everyone's not going to like something,
Right.
right? You might,
Exactly.
yeah. So stand on what you stand on, but allow them to be who they are because whoever they knocking down in their bedroom doesn't have anything to do with you in your life.
At all. You don't have
Unless
to have them people in your
unless you
spaces.
mess with them, unless you knock them down too. Now you know.
That's a whole other
Yeah,
subject.
Yeah, that's totally
That's
different
a
right
whole.
there. But
yeah. So I'm just saying. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But all right. Speaking of knocking, whoever you knocking down the bedroom. Okay, that was a good way to get back on track. All right, we'll go ahead and do the topic. And once again, rest in paradise to the little princess. Ashley Barnes. And like I say, shout out to the families, man. My heart go out to you guys. Tragic. But all right, tonight's topic, let's turn the page. We're going to tackle the married people engaging in single people activity.
All right. First, we got to define what single people activities.
All right, Austin, kick it out.
Well,
single people activities. Name at least 3.
Well, that's difficult for me because and I have a different mindset. All right, so all right for discussion, right? So going out to the club with your girlfriends or your boys and staying out 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, hitting up the after hour spots.
What about 2 o'clock?
Well, that's between you and your mate, determining what's an appropriate time. So what are some other ones? Going to strip clubs, you know.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else. So
speaking of strip clubs, you know, Kevin Gates and everybody made it cool to take the girl to the strip club, right?
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
So my partner, this guy I know, took his girl with him to the strip club, and allegedly he ended up touching on one of the women at the strip club.
Right.
And got in trouble. You know, the wife seen it, you know, and he got in a little trouble. So my thing, you know, is like, what's good for someone else may not be good for you.
Yeah, and that's why you got to set your own boundaries and see.
Set your boundaries, but me personally, and then you probably gonna hear me say this throughout the whole topic. I learned not to put myself in those situations.
Right.
Even though, you know, I walk around, I know myself, you know what I'm saying? I know who I am. I know what I represent. I know what I stand for. I respect myself. I'm going to respect the wife. I'm going to respect the house. I'm going to respect the name. But to keep me doing that, I don't allow myself to get in those positions. Because
when you say those positions, what positions are you talking about?
Positions like I'm not going to put myself to be around a lot of women, and you know, and I'm drinking. I just don't want to put myself in a position to even fall. Just like if I don't want to step on nails, I'm not going to put myself around a construction site.
But the thing is, you're a DJ, so you're going to be around women. Women are going to be around you.
And that's why I only go when I work. But when I'm going to a club, trying to hang out and mingle, that's not my first thing. And when I do go, I'm in the DJ booth with the DJ, and I'm just there. So that makes it easy. But if I'm just there to enjoy so-called music and sit around and eat the hot wings at the bar, I just prefer not to do that. You know, I just prefer not to do that, because when you're married, that is your person. That is your mate. That's your every day, every night person. And it's not going to be roses all the time. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Sometimes you be wanting to pick up and get the nearest bottle and rack that joke across the head. But you took that vow. And if, just like back in the day, we saw our parents and grandparents, but especially our parents, get angry and leave the house, curse each other out. Go to hell. Then get in the car and leave. Gone 2-3 hours. You know, we don't know where the hell he went. Oh, damn sure where the hell she went, and what the hell they were doing while they were gone. So, you know, we can't do that. You know, and so I just don't feel like you need to be putting yourself in no position to even be tempted to even, you know,
be compromised.
I can do it. I've done it, but I just feel like I prefer not to.
Well, my thing is, if your girl or you or whatever, whoever your spouse is, if they're going to hang out with single friends, you know, what are their single friends pushing them towards? Are they pushing them towards single things like, hey girl, I'm finna go talk to old boy. He got a friend, blase blase. You know, you just run, you just run the wingman for me. You know what I'm saying? Hey girl, I mean, I know you got a baby at home and your husband at home, but can't you stay out a few more hours? Can you? I know it's midnight. Can you come on out and hang out, have a few drinks?
But see, should a married woman really be hanging around single friends at that point? I don't think so.
That's why I said I'd rather not put myself in that predicament.
Right.
So if I have a friend guy that's doing things like that, and he got a slew of women, I don't even want to be around it, because I just choose, even though I'm gonna say no, you know, I respect the wife, but then he got 2 and 3 different girls and he want me to be the wingman, and I gotta sit there and try to entertain 1 or 2 of them. I've been there, done that. Especially doing my college thing and with college friends that was at Grambling, wanted me to be the wingman because they in the back doing what they doing, and I'm stuck in the living room looking at television with this one who's Google-eyed me. We all drinking, we all doing whatever. I've been there, done that. So I'm like, yeah. So like he said, what is that friend pushing them to do? And 8 times out of 10 today, with this being, and I say so many times on this podcast, we live in a selfish society. They don't care about messing up your relationship. They're trying to get what they can get for that moment. And like I say, everything is not going to be rosy, and not saying that your girl is going to be weak or your man is going to be weak, but being around that atmosphere, feeling the options that you really have. And then when you're at home and you and your person are going through what you're going through, and you thinking in the back of your head, this nigga talking all this or she talking all that, when I can be with this person. You know, that gives you that extra boost because you have that physical person that you was the wing person for. And you know that that person's attracted to you. You kind of attracted to them because they look good. And if you wasn't married, possibility, you know, Erykah Badu, I'm in a situation, see you next lifetime shit. But when you going through what you're going through at home, and you know you have that option, you tend to act a little different. You act a little different. Like,
you know, if a marriage is a contract, every contract got an exit clause somewhere in it. You know, and once you become aware of it, then it's easier to say, well, you know what, I got options. I don't have to be here. I don't have to do that. And once
start getting that, but they not knowing that these days, because like I was talking to somebody the other day, is so many women to one man today.
Yeah.
So men are really the prize today. And so we also have options now. More options now than the average woman. And what that woman is not realizing, because of it, so many women to one man, just because that man said that to you, how many others he said that to, and who would he really with?
It's a competitive market. It's a competitive market out here for women.
Yeah.
You have a unsupplied stock. You don't have a surplus anymore. So, and if every man got 3 or 4 women to one man, I can attest to that. You know, how can you compete with that? So you have to be stern and recognize your own value before you get in a relationship and encounter these problems like all these boundary issues. And, you know, sometimes you got to, you know, realize if you in an engaged relationship or you're in a marriage and you still have the inclination to do single folks things, maybe it's not real time for you to be married. Maybe you endeavored in something that you're not really committed to, because that endears itself upon how invested is the person in a relationship.
And
Because
that
we all
happens
know relationships where one
so
person
many
is more invested
times.
than the
That
other.
and the major cause of divorce, they always want to say all this, but the major cause of divorce is kind of like what Austin said, is what he said on the post about, I think it was cheating or something, and he put on there, no, the main reason for divorce, and he put on there because they're choosing the person that God didn't send to them. But not only that, I feel like you're marrying a person who you really shouldn't be marrying. You're marrying for the wrong reason.
Or maybe it's not meant for you to be married at all. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's not meant for everybody to be coupled up. It's not meant for everybody to be married. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going through that personally. So people have to understand. I'm not saying it's not somebody for you, but maybe the marriage model does not work for you.
And that's why a lot of people are rejecting the
traditional
marriage model these days. They're talking about they're spiritually married or whatever they want to call it these days.
Now, these days they don't want, when they on the cool, I feel like when a man tell a woman we don't need to put the white man in our business. Why we gotta get married and put it on paper? We don't need the white man in our business. That's just the white man get in our business. That means that he can walk away at any time and do whatever the hell he wants. She can walk around there and walk away at any time, and they really don't have nothing to think about from being together. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of men are opting. That's something that a lot of them opting out. So they don't get married because they don't want the white man government in their business.
Well, a lot of it is too, they say that they love to say that we men are afraid of commitment and afraid of marriage. Now,
afraid of commitment.
Yeah, we're afraid of divorce. We're afraid of the commitment in it. We're afraid of getting ourselves invested and having that pain that we go through as men that's unique and only we experience. Women have their own unique experience when things end, but we men have our own grieving process when a relationship ends. And I think that's what a lot of us are afraid of. That's why we don't commit.
Well, I mean, a divorce, a breakup, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to experience you're going to experience some type of pain and whatever it may be. So, the best thing to do is find, if you feel like marriage is the thing for you, then find the right person to marry, and don't just go out there and deal with any and everyone. You have to be selective on who you end up marrying and what you want.
Sympathy marriage is the main one that's getting cheated on the most. I married him because he's so nice. I like Brian, but man, he is so nice, girl. He bought me this, he got me that, and now he want to marry me. Brian ain't never asked me to marry him, but she loved Brian, but he ain't acting right. So she go ahead and marry June.
Right.
And I know people today that's married, and I was like, are you sure that you want him when I know you like Fred? But Fred didn't do this, and this guy's so nice. He got a good job, and he treats me good, and this, I'm gonna go ahead and be with him because he treats me well. But she still cares about Fred. That's that thug, and then Fred 5 years later be still in her head and still able to knock that down.
Exactly. That's why nice guys shouldn't get married. I'm joking.
Well,
but
it leads into what I brought up, what I texted you about.
That's what I just thought about. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna promote it for about 2 weeks. We want to hear from the simps.
And we want to hear from the women.
Now,
the tricks. I want to hear from the women
that look out for females.
Who gonna call in and identify themselves as a sip?
I know. Hey, Ted Blackman out of Bastrop. He had a page and he ended up stopping it, but he admitted, he said, man, I used to trick so bad. I used to be a big trick. And then he started naming people. He was like, hey, if you want to know if I mess with your girl, inbox me. So it's one or two that grew from that. And then it's guys who say they don't want it if they can't pay for it. They say anything that it's a fair exchange. And I know young brothers. When I say young, I'm talking 30 years old saying that they rather pay for it.
Well, I mean, because
I've never done it, but I see what they talking about.
Yeah, you drop that little funky 40 and call it a day.
Yeah, and a lot don't want that because they thinking. And then I was arguing with this group, and I think I got the argument. And when we have that, we're gonna play it. I think I have that argument. But they were trying to say that, the paying for cat, paying for it. They say that if you they trying to say that if you put gas in your car to go pick her up, to take her out, that's paying for cat.
No, it's not.
That's not a direct transaction.
If you go to a restaurant and you buy food, you pay for cat.
No.
If you buy an Uber for her to go home after the night, you pay for it. And so I'm like, and a lot of guys the main guys who say stuff like that to me, I feel like the guys who struggle getting it and they actually have paid and they want to say everybody pay for it. But I even with my argument was when I'm with somebody and we rolling and I want to go to Chili's or I want to go to the wing stop or something, I pay for everybody to eat. So does that mean I want to screw them? No, that means that I wanted to eat, so I bought them something to eat. When I'm having business meeting and me and a crew coming together, we thinking about bringing an artist into the city or going some big event, we eat at the table. And whoever turn it is, they got the meal. And sometimes them bills be $300, $400. But that don't mean we trying to screw them. That's a nice mutual place to meet and greet and get to know each other over dinner, over food. Over snacks.
I paid for women grocery at the grocery store and had no intention of even trying to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah. So but those fellas argued me down. It was a 64-year-old man saying that, 49-year-old, and they just going up. Man, if you did this, you paid for it. To me, paying for it is when she said you got to pay before you late. Or when you talking about getting some, she say, well, my rent due, I need my electric, and you doing all that and still ain't hit yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a direct transaction.
That's a direct transaction because you put money in her hand or you paying her bills just to get some. But going out to eat, because I'm going out to eat because we're in a neutral environment and I'm watching you. I'm watching your demeanor. I'm watching your eyes, seeing if you're wondering, seeing if you see that bartender. Do he look nice to you? Is the waiter looking nice to you? If you're looking him up and down, I'm just checking you out so I'll know how I'm gonna play the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's a mutual part. Even if if I take her to, like, my first date, I was at the zoo. My girl made me go to the zoo. She was like, let's do something, blah, blah. So we went to the zoo. And at that time, I had no intentions because I was just dropping photos off. I had no intentions on trying to get with her. I had 2 or 3 and I was at wits with them. They was getting on my nerve. And so when we went to the zoo and we were just walking around, all eyes was on me. I had all the attention. But at that time, I really wasn't looking for nobody because I was already trying to get out of the shit I was seeing. And so I guess, like Austin said, it wasn't no intent on even being with her. I just went to the zoo because I hadn't been in a while. She brought it up. Yeah, let's do the zoo. It wasn't I'm gonna take her to the zoo and hoping I'm gonna get some. No, that ain't how I rock because I ain't hard up. Never have been hard up for that. But yeah, they argue you down if you do anything. When they say if you put gas in your car, nigga, I'm gonna put gas in my car anyway. I'm gonna eat it.
I mean,
Who is these dudes?
Like if I'm going.
Man, this dude put me on. He called on the speaker. I mean, on a damn video call. Hey man, that's the 60-something-year-old man. If he put gas in his car to go pick her up, he paid for it, didn't he? And old school over there. Yeah. I say, nah, y'all paying for it. Y'all weak asses gotta pay for it. I ain't got to pay for it. But yeah.
And it's brothers like that to make it hard for brothers like us, for real. They mindset is all messed up.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So
yeah, a woman don't owe you nothing because you take her out to eat. That's messed up, and it's trifling way of thinking. If that's the case, I mean, I've never done it. I've never paid for it, but I can understand a dude getting to the point where he like, I just rather pay for it than deal with all the mess.
Oh yeah, a lot of them doing that. A lot of them.
Yeah, they say, hey, I get what I want. I got my evening to myself. I'm gonna hang my fellas after that. I ain't got to deal with hearing nothing. Hey, it's a simple business thing.
The first time I ever heard that, it was like a 68-year-old man that I was dealing with. He made CDs and sold clothes and stuff. And he had came over and he used to get a little advice from me, and I used to school him. And he paid this girl. He's 60, had to been about 68 at the time. He paid a 19-year-old $200.
Mm-hmm.
And because she had just graduated high school, she was a year out of graduating high school. And I sent him down the road to sell them some hoodies and stuff, and clothes. And the girl was kind of looking for money, she looked pretty decent, so she was a little kind of hood rat type chick. And so she started flirting with him. And so he was like, man, what you think? This and that and that. And I was like, man, I don't know, man. 19, I don't really trust it. So I went out of town that weekend. I think I was in Atlanta, actually. It was that's when Young Jock and them was this was before Young Jock came out. And I was with them at Chili's.
Okay.
In Marietta, actually. And so while I was gone that weekend, he come blowing up my phone late that night. Then he called me first thing that morning. I was like, damn, what didn't happen? He said, man, I paid her $200, man, and I had the time of my life. I was like, damn, $200. He said, yeah, man, old dude now, 68. He put a baby in her too. But he was saying that he had time in his life. And I was like, wow. And so I said, dude, you paid $200? He said, man, that's the only way I want it. I said, what you mean? He said, man, if I can't pay for it, I don't want it.
Yeah.
But I was bragging, man, I ain't never had to pay for nothing, and I ain't gonna pay. He like, man, that's the only way I want it. He says, less headache. When you want some, you go over there, you call them, you pay them, you drop them off. I don't owe her nothing. She don't owe me nothing. When we done, we done. So that he don't have to help with a bill constantly. He don't have to do anything for her constantly. He just hit her up whenever he wants some, and if she needs something, if she needs something, he just drop her off and do what he do and leave. And then he got her all the way down to $40. Then he was able to just take her out to eat, and he was like, "Man, I got her. Do I just take her to get her something to eat?" So it's crazy, but I've heard and seen that done. And a lot of men with today's women, the modern women, they don't want the headache. They don't want it. So they like,
well, we don't want the pressure either.
They don't want the what?
Pressure. We get a lot of pressure put on us. Sometimes to do stuff we feel like, no, I'm not coming in to pay your rent, pay your bills. I'm just trying to kick it. And women, and a lot of these modern women, they come in, want a man to do this and do that, and a man is not that invested in the woman emotionally or in that way to make those, especially fiduciary commitments. So yeah, he's gonna opt to where he's got something that's a little more transactional. Where
the part about that is they know who to ask that from, and then they'll let the little broke guy across the street that's post hustling to get weed, living with mom, wearing pajamas all day, sucking on a pacifier, playing Madden and 2K24. They'll let him hit for free.
But hell, your dope boy gonna know all the girls that'll do it anyway. So all you gotta do is holler at him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's hard. It's not like if anything you want is not hard to find if you really want it. So it's not like a guy would necessarily have to go through a lot of trouble to do that. And that's why a lot of guys are opting for that. It's just easier for them. I've had my guy friends, some of them tell me it's just less complicated. It's no pressure. I don't have to deal with this. I pay my $50 or $100 for however long, and I'm good.
Yeah.
They don't
Then
want to deal with taking a woman out.
She go back to her husband and see he ain't got to deal with the headache.
Yeah.
But then you stuck with the headache. She slip off for that hour and a half, that 2 hours, then she come back to you with a mouth poked out like $9 worth of pennies. You dealing with the headache, and he's seeing the good side of it. Similar to that video, Austin, that we was talking about. And I wish I had it downloaded a long time ago. But when the what's her name? Ooh, I know the names and everything, but it everything leaving me now. But she was saying that he wouldn't lie to her. And she was like, no, I want you to lie to me. Lie to me like you lie to them. That's why they love you and they think you all that, because you lie to them. I need you to lie to me like you lie to them. He said, but I love you. She said, no, I want you to treat me the same way you treat them. She said, because they love you because they don't see what you do to me when we're alone. I'm your wife. They don't see what we go through. You show them your best side all the time. I have to deal with the hell. You see what I'm saying? That when you're here with me, I see the hell. They only see the good side of you. So treat me more like you treat them. And that's a deep conversation. And when you're talking about the simping, I want to bring that video up. But that was a deep video, man. And I think she's still living. I think he died, but that's a deep video. That it meant so much. He said, but I wouldn't lie to you. He said, no, I want you to lie to me. I want you to lie to me just like you lie to them. Treat me just like you treat them. So it's deep. But the fact that, okay, now back to the topic. I understand that we need masculine energy. Women need feminine energy. So engaging in single activities, I'm going to say, like Austin, basically that's more like the club. That's more like the friend going to stuff like Freaknik.
Who does that in their late 30s, 40s, 50s?
Boy, with when Beyonce and them came out with 40 the new 20, 50 the new 30, nigga, they doing it. I know a girl right now, 46, 47 years old, that take pictures on Facebook just like the girls, the Instagram models at 24 years old. So it's the world is different. The world is different. And so I know 50-year-old women right now that's act like the 24-year-old, 25-year-old girl.
Right.
That's on right now. And you know them too. They feel like they still look good. They feel like they still in their prime, and then they're actually competing with that 25-year-old.
I mean, they still probably are in their prime. They prime just ground beef now. But the thing is, if your girl goes to the club, right? If your girl is your girl and you have trust in her and she respects your relationship, then she's not going to do anything in that club that she wouldn't do if you were there.
Right.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right. You're right.
But if you have someone that is untrustworthy and someone that's a follower and someone that doesn't have boundaries, nor do they have boundaries for their friends, self-control, all of that, then that's when you're going to have issues. You know when your marriage isn't 100. You know when your marriage is hanging on by a string. You know that when you're not giving your all and your girl is not giving their all, you already know that.
Yeah.
So that's when those opportunities come up and arise. And if you have a marriage that is and you're intentional about your marriage, then what you want to go to the club for?
Right,
What I
exactly.
mean,
That's
why
what
why do you want to go to the club?
I got a couple that I've been working with, and I'm feeling like I'm making a breakthrough with them because they've been doing some more positive things, but it's not the progress that I want. But they're not in the best space, and she wants to hang out and go out with her friends now. When
Yeah, that's about it.
he was used to them being attached to the hip, 24/7. So they've been getting into it. And if you ever been in a relationship, when you get into it, it's gonna create a slight little gap. And if don't nobody stop and say, "Hey, baby, let's reset and get this thing back together," it's gonna be a gap.
Well,
And lumber
the gap is the legs opening.
Right.
is gonna be that gap. So she wants to start hanging with her friends and her coworkers and doing all that stuff. And
See, I was,
he feels like, and I understood where he was coming from because they both on new territory. They're not in their hometowns, and she is all he knew. And men, we have the tendency to get comfortable and complacent in relationships. We feel like when it's a storm, we just going through it, and the sun gonna come out eventually. But a lot of times, it's that woman hanging around single friends or single family members or whatever, she can hear all this in her ear or different guys getting in her ear. She not seeing that storm is going to eventually fly over or go over, blow over, whatever they say it. She's seeing that I don't need to go through this. And I'm tired of going through this because she, in her mind and in her ears, she has options. So she feels like I don't have to go through it. Where he's sitting back, we gonna be together forever. We just going through some shit right now. That's my baby. We've been here. We've been rocking. We've been through hell and back, and we still together. That's how a man, the typical man, thinks. But that woman, like, I don't need to do this, be with this. I'm tired. I ain't got to go through this, and that's where her mindset is. So what I was trying to explain to them is when your relationship, like Austin was saying, when your relationship is not on solid ground, when you all are thinking, F you, I'm tired. That's the wrong time for me to want to go hang out with the fucking fellas.
That's right.
Even if it was a big weekend that's been planned for 3 months, if my shit ain't stable at the crib, hey man, damn, I hate this shit going on. I hate I'm gonna miss you guys if I want to be in that relationship. Because keep in mind, she know that y'all going through hell, and she know you got that big event. She already told her friend, yeah, and if he fuck up and leave, he know we going through this. He's showing me that he don't want this, and then and everybody's a test. It's a test. But so
No, I
they
don't do
going
tests.
through all of that right now, and I just feel like trying to fix it when it's been that far gone. They've been apart. They've been gone too far. So it's hard to a lot of times you have to stop and address issues before they get too far.
Mm.
And I think theirs is almost too far.
You know, again, people say marriage and relationships are hard, and I say no, they're not. When you're dealing with someone that is just intentional and as dedicated as you are. So, um, if you're going through those type of things, that means that somewhere something has changed.
Yeah.
Right. And you
So,
also have to I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so you have to evaluate, okay, so what has changed? Have we changed to the point where we no longer want to be together, or have we change to the point where I need to step up and do something different, or she needs to step up and do something different, where we can mend whatever is going on. So, but if you are happier being with other people than you are being with your spouse, then that's a hard recovery.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is we endeavor into relationships without recognizing our own value. And when we go into these relationships and never recognizing our own value, then we leave ourselves open to these kind of things happening.
Exactly.
Because, like you said earlier, we got to be self-aware. Like I've had to be. Y'all seen how I become self-aware just as I've been doing this podcast. So you have to be sound in yourself before you get into a relationship and set those boundaries and set those ground rules and have these discussions and say, look, before we even get into this, is this going? I do this. Is this okay with you? What makes you comfortable? Well, this is what makes me comfortable. And people not having those discussions.
Yeah, people are scared to have those discussions. You have to have those hard discussions because those things help you identify your boundaries.
Yeah.
And because if you don't identify your boundaries, then you're all over the place, so there's no control.
Right.
And I set my boundaries as soon as I get in any so-called serious relationship. I don't care for club hoppers. And that is the first thing I established with anybody I ever talked to. I don't care for club hoppers. That's why I never dated no one that was regulars in the club. I'll hang out, we'll kick it, but I didn't never take nobody serious that was a regular club hopper. I don't care for that. I got scarred with that when I was a child and seeing what it did to the family with the club thing. So I never wanted a woman that went to the club. And so that's just a thing of mine. But
But what about a lounge or a cigar bar or something like that?
with who?
With their friends, whoever.
Nah, that's still considered
That's still club out.
clubbing to me. If you just got to be in places like that, wherever there's single to mingle people in that cigar bar and lounge, that's the same thing. It's still men looking for women, and
You can have that at work.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful everywhere.
At work, you making money.
Yeah.
Hey,
So you gotta be there.
We just talking about folks getting knocked down for a funky 40. They still be working.
But you can get away with it going into a workplace making money than you could off the clock and going to a bar hanging out. But I just don't. I never cared for no club hopper. That ain't my thing. And peep this out. Check out what he said.
All right.
If you in a relationship, why are you constantly trying to hang out with your single friends? Like your single friends are going to single locations with single events, which they can either go to have fun or go to have fun and link up with somebody. You have no business there. I get it. We all grown. Who said you can't go out and have fun with your friends? You get what I'm saying? But to make sure that you dedicate yourself to keep going out with your single friends to these locations is a red flag, dummy. Why would you put yourself in a position where you gotta explain why you're there? A recipe for disaster is the only thing that can come out of it, because let's be honest, we see what we see. All I'm saying is personally, I would rather not put myself in that position, but hey, do your thing, boo. Who pay your bills, you feel me? You grown. Do what you want to do. Yeah, I'm good.
That's one perspective. And like George was saying earlier, my thing is, and I used to be like the guy that I was telling you about, that I was talking about, that's going through the little issue with his wife. But like George said, if you don't have no self-awareness, no self-love, your self-esteem is not where it needs to be, then you fall. It's easy to fall into that category if you don't have self-esteem, self-awareness, knowledge of self, if you're not proud of yourself. Yeah. But when you know who you are, what you bring to the table, you know your worth, you ain't really worried about if a woman leaves. You're not worried about if she thinks the grass is green over there. You're not worried about if she want to try Joe, John, and Jack. You ain't messed up about that because you're confident within yourself. And so I'm thinking the guy that I'm talking about, he is not what he was when they met. And he let himself slide downward.
And that's what killed my marriage. That's the exact same thing that killed my marriage. And like about that value thing, I'm a living testimony of that because, like I said, D, you was here when I first started coming on. You know what I was going through and what I was dealing with. Now, if a woman tell me she want to leave, all I'm gonna do is help her ass pack. Bye.
And hey, and when I was saying that on the podcast, when you was just going through your stuff, you looking at me like, this dude is crazy. I was like, hey, I'm gonna say, hey, what else you need me to do? What else you need me to do? I can get you an Uber, and I'll probably pay until I know she messing with a guy. I'll pay 2-3 months of her bills wherever she at for about 2
I ain't doing all that.
That's
too close to simping to me.
Yeah, that's simping. That's simping.
Especially what if they had your child?
They had your child. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
If they ain't got no child, they ain't got no child with them. No, once you go,
and I did when she had my kid and I left.
Okay.
And I did 3 months. I said, I'm gonna do 3 months. I did electric and I did cable because my son was over there and I knew he wanted to look at TV. So I did that for 3 months. And then after the 3 months, that was a wrap. But yeah, I'll help him pack and get on because, like I said on the previous podcast, everybody I ever left, I got blessed.
Right.
I got super blessed. I'm talking about it's like blessings upon blessings because I do everything I'm supposed to do when I'm in that relationship.
Right.
Majority of the things, like I say, I do everything that I feel like I'm supposed to do. So that's why when they end, I'm blessed. I get blessings, I think, So him and her being in unfamiliar territory, they stuck together at the hip. She's wanting to be around her work friends now because of how they've been getting into it and they've been drifting. It's just, I think they've been drifting too long. Whenever you see your relationship starting to drift, that's when you're supposed to be like, hey, this ain't working. We need to talk. I'm not, it's getting to the point where I'm noticing other females. It's getting to the point where I'm noticing other guys when I never noticed them before. It's getting to the point where when the guy at work tells me he likes my hair and you never compliment nothing, I feel special when you say that. That's when you guys need to come together and it's time to talk about what we finna do. And it's time for you, like also say, to decide what I need to do different.
Or it's time for you to be like, fuck this ain't worth it, or I'm out. Maybe it's time
when you marry, and what I do when I preach to the married people, when I'm talking to the married people, when you're married, it's something that made you marry that person. It's something that made you want to say I do. So I don't give up on them quicker than I do the ones that get stacking.
But see, I've been married, and that thing that made you that shit can fade.
Yeah, it ain't always what you.
But that's why you should marry somebody that's not for the physical, not for the money.
But that changes. All that love changes. The person you get with at 28 is nowhere the same person you're gonna be with at 40. So
they shouldn't be. They
shouldn't be. And sometimes that changing that person means I can't fuck with you. I can't do that.
Well,
being who I am.
Yeah, that's not the design of it though. If a person is changing, a person is changing, if you have your person and that's truly your person, those changes are only going to complement your relationship.
But people are selfish. And a lot of these women, they got their boss be
Yeah, those are things. Yeah, those are things you identify in the beginning. Yeah. Those things are already there. It just comes out a little bit more.
You can't think that just because she do this to her sister, just because she say this to her brother, just because she say this to her dad, just because she treat her mom this way and her aunt this way, that you're exempt. That doesn't mean that I paid attention to everything. Just like I told y'all about the girl I was dating who cursed her mama out. It was like around Thanksgiving, and I just happened to walk in the room and I heard her going, "Oh, she cursing, bitch, this and that," and I was like, "Hell, what's that? I'm damn mama. She's saying this and saying that." And I was like, "Whoa," because I was taught the way a woman treats her mother, she gonna treat you three times either better or worse. And she was cursing the shit out of her mama that day. And I never thought I'd seen that. I never heard a woman curse her mama. And this woman cursed the hell out of her mama. And her mom died, I'm gonna say maybe 5-6 years after she cursed her out like that. And I bet you that ate that girl up. But yeah, we didn't last because, like I say, like you say, selfish. Anybody who cursed their mom out, because we didn't learn anything. Honor thy mother and thy father, for their days should be long on the face of the earth. We learned that. And so whether we wanted to curse our parents out, whether I don't even curse in front of mine. That's just that respect. And they don't have that. And she was from our generation, but she just didn't give a damn about her mom. But I'm thinking it's because her mom, they had issues in the house. I think the mom brother was fondling with her, and when she told the mom brushed it under the rug. So they had issues. But at the same time, I know a woman who had hella issues. Mom calling the Child Protective Service on her and all this stuff, and she still treats her mom as if nothing happened today out of the respect. So it's a catch-22. But the deal is, all in all, is watch how that woman treats her certain family members and her friends. If she low down to those people who will steal money from them, go behind their backs, and you're seeing all this while you're with her, don't be surprised if a year or two later it blow up, or down the road it blow up on you. I wouldn't have been surprised. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, when people show you who they really are, believe them.
Believe them.
And let's not be naive and think that your girl is only looking, your wife, your girl is only looking at you. Because she's gonna see somebody else that she's attracted to.
Oh, that's human nature.
Attractive.
Just like you're gonna see somebody else you're attracted to.
Right.
But
And
it's
so
that
the thing
that
is
it's
how
that
you-
mutual respect for each other that makes you not entertain.
Right. It's what comes out of that. It's the act that does or does not happen, which causes the respect or disrespect.
Right.
So, I mean, and if the only time your girl hears that she's beautiful, fine, sexy, or whatever is from another dude, then you got a problem. Yeah, that's on you. You are allowing someone to present something to your girl that you're not getting. That shouldn't be. They shouldn't be the only one that's telling her that. And women need that. And I had to.
But usually that's not the only dude. Usually you could be telling her that, and she's still gonna do what she gonna do.
Well, again, that means that person is not really your person.
Right.
Exactly.
If
I want to ask that.
This, George, this is how I do.
Okay.
Do what you're supposed to do. And if they did extra, at least you did do what you were supposed to do.
So this what I do now. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. But if any time I want to go, I will get her luggage. I will call her Uber.
I ain't never been messed up about a woman leaving. My mama told me don't never keep nobody that don't want to
be kept.
So
That's
if you pack your bags, I'll see you when I see you. I had somebody that did that. Oh, you just gonna let me go? Yeah.
Yeah, bye.
What you want me to do? You not gonna fight for me? Man,
fight.
I ain't got time to fight. That's not my position.
I don't do that.
Then you fight for her, and the same guy she was ready to leave to go spend the night with is still messing with.
Right, exactly.
No, sir. So yeah, it's out there. But then this what this guy say about women want to hang with their single friends.
You a married woman. Why do you have friends that are single? When you hang around them, what they do? Single women stuff. You with one man all the time. That's your husband, right? They in all these men face when you go out with them, right? You really think the spirit they got ain't gonna get on you? Be careful of the company you keep. It will ruin your life. You think those women ain't gonna try to hook you up with a man? Y'all be having best friends that know you cheating on your husband, and they go to the grave with it. And then when y'all get on bad terms, all of a sudden, here come this dude that they hook you up with, you find out about the guy. See, when women get mad, they gonna do something to make you mad. They want to let you know they got options over you, but they already had those options while they with you. That's why they find a man so fast after you. She just met that man. She had that man on the sideline.
Sure did.
He's on the sideline. That's true, George.
You're exactly right.
George said amen.
They had a roster.
Why she married?
They got their own little side. They got their own little lineup. They got their bench. They got their bench ready for them. Trust me. Don't ever think that she don't have a dick in a glass ready to break in case of an emergency.
Oh yeah. Emergency dick in the glass.
It don't matter how wholesome you think your girl is, man. Come on. Just don't fool yourself. Just don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself, man, in that position to where you get messed up over a woman and ruin your life.
Well, George, on that one, I'm gonna have to fool myself on that one because I have to have the belief that my wife isn't gonna do that. I have to have that belief. I have to have that trust that my wife is not gonna do that. Because
I don't hate it for no woman. I guess
if I don't,
yeah.
I'm just saying if I don't, then that's gonna ruin everything.
Yeah, you speaking it on yourself.
That's going not speaking it on myself. That's going to make me say I'm gonna get her before she gets me. So that's gonna cause me to mess up in this relationship.
Right. But you know what? Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, because there's a little bit of lag. I don't want to seem like I'm cutting you off. But like what it made me do is just be like, I'm not gonna have that kind of trust for a woman. So I'm just not go. I'm gonna invest up to a point, but I'm never gonna invest again like I did before. Just not gonna do it. I mean, if you want to go. Bye. If you want to kick it, kick it.
That's how he is too. If she want to go. But we're talking about the relationships where in your presence it's love. So you don't have a reason to think of creeping or them creeping.
Just the way I am now, I can't love a woman like that no more. I'm always give you side eye like, man, what you finna do? So I can't. This is where I'm at right now.
And George, we're in the reverse because I used to think like you're thinking now.
Right.
I'm where I used to be where you were now, and that ruined every relationship that I've ever been in.
And so this is like a new. Okay, it's like when after this stage that you're going through, and you're gonna go through this for about 5+ years. You gonna, like I say, I know how to treat a woman, I know how to show love, but I wasn't in love. I was just going through the motions, waiting on her to fuck up, because I know all good things come to an end and nothing lasts forever. That's my mindset.
But see, my mistake was I fell in love. That was my mistake. See, I did my stuff in reverse. At 22, 23, I was married for 16 years. Then I was in a 5-year committed relationship that was some bullshit. So I did mine backwards.
How old?
I got married about 22. I was married for 16 years. Then I jumped into a long-term relationship for about 5 years. That was some bullshit. And that's when y'all meet me about that time. So I guess I'm in a stage right now. I'm just not. It's going to take another one.
He did it backwards, like he said. He jumped out there early and called himself getting married when he was prime sowing his royal oats. He jumped out there and got married. And then after his marriage, he jumped in another long-term marriage relationship. And then he got burned in that. And so now he just out there doing what it do. I don't trust bitches. They ain't this. They ain't that. So we went through that in college.
Right.
When you go through your college breakups. And then we were actually like that really, at least me, until I met the one I'm with now. I just didn't trust nobody. And I know they may look at it. I ain't trust none of y'all. I knew how to treat you. I knew how to be a man in a relationship. I knew how to have fun. I knew how to romance. I knew all that. But I ain't trust. It wasn't no love. I had my heart. What Omarion said, icebox where my heart used to be. I didn't love you. I didn't none of that. I just knew how to do that because I came from a family of love. I watched my dad, I watched my uncles, I watched my brothers love their wives. So I know how to. But the butterflies running through the tulips and daisies, and if you go back and watch some of the first episodes of the podcast, I said this on that too. So I just decided to, after putting them all through hell, the one I'm with now was the only one who stayed.
Right.
Who actually stayed. The other ones were there and we did what we do, but I did everything in my power to run this world. Everything.
Right. And like when I was married, man, I was so committed in the lab age, I was so committed, and it's just like, I'm good. I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm in a good spot. I'm focusing on my career. You know what I'm saying? I'm making strides on that. You see how it is going. I'm worried about my son. Everything else fall into place.
And so, yeah, you did it backwards. Because I wasn't going to get married. When I saw Austin jump up and did his first little marriage, I think I was in college when he first got married. And then he got out of that. A few years later, he married again. And I'm still doing me. And to be honest with you, he was doing him.
Yeah.
I'm telling on him, let me stop. But it just took me a minute because I was like you, George. I don't trust shit. Look, I'm gonna tell you, George, it don't let this ruin you. But I'm gonna tell you what I tell the fellas. My motto used to be, man, you got you a good woman. I said, yeah, they all good until you catch them.
Yeah.
I'm all good. They all good till you catch that butterfly, So I was hell.
Yeah, I had some good relationships, and they probably could have been great, but number one, I didn't trust women. I I I liked a lot of women, and I was selfish in my relationships because I was in it for what I can get out of it, right?
Yeah.
So whatever that was for whatever that time period was, that was me.
Yeah.
So
And so that's why when you broke up and y'all didn't work, you really wasn't that crushed because you knew you weren't supposed to be in it no way.
yeah, because I didn't care. I mean, I had that mentality. It's like I don't care. I felt like I looked decent enough, had enough of a mouthpiece to grab
Right.
somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So
once I
when you and George, that's another thing. When you know you got options and you know your self-worth, you ain't messed up about none of that. None of this shit right here. Listen.
You're not gonna let your girl go out and celebrate her best friend's birthday?
Hell no, because this is the thing. If this is her best friend and you're a real couple, you're friends with the best friend. That birthday trip, we go as a couple. By yourself is crazy. Come on, you're trying to get your back blown out. Take your ass on them girls trips if you want. Let these women cap y'all. I've been to a lot of countries and a lot of states. They're not going out there to get drunk, dress sexy, ass out just for the gram. They got that balcony suite for a reason. They trying to get bent over that motherfucker. Once you like in that 30 plus crowd, you're not going on any trips without your spouse. That's in your early 20s. We all having fun.
If you're
We're
single,
30. We're living together. We got kids. We paying bills. If you're married, you don't even need no single friend. What are you doing hanging out with this single chick? Because she trying to get you to Miami.
Let me help
knowing
you.
she going out there to go suck some dick in the VIP section.
Let me help.
Keep your married ass at home cooking, making breakfast, taking kids to football practice, shit like that.
Oh shit. That dude there, man.
let's see, you know,
He ain't wrong.
I used to be
he ain't wrong, but he ain't right.
Right.
Because I mean, everybody's relationship doesn't fall in those categories. Like my wife and I were talking, and somebody was talking about going on uh, a girls' trip to Greece or something of that nature for a birthday or something. And she was telling them, "Yeah, I can go, but my husband is coming too." And they're like, "It's supposed to be a girls' trip. We supposed to." She was like, "Yeah, I know. It's still gonna be a girls' trip. He ain't gonna be hanging with us, but he's gonna be there."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now my wife had brought that up too, because she never had no real friends, and the real friends she had, she's not friends with anymore. So, and she wants to experience, the feminine energy, just being with females, because they need that feminine energy. And so
Because
she keeps saying that they want to go here, want to go there. And then she was like, "But you're gonna be with me, we gonna be me." And I'm like, Austin, I'll probably invite him. He'll tell me where they're going. And if he's able to come for those 3 days or whatever, I'll probably invite a friend guy of mine and pay for his fare to get there. And that way I have somebody to kick it with, because I'm not going to be with them. I'll find somebody who can come wherever they go, Dubai, wherever, Vegas, wherever, but I'm going to find me a friend to fly out there with me. So while they're doing them, I'm doing me. And it's okay, hey, we about to head to the room now. And then I'll wrap up my evening and meet her back at the room. So that's where she's at with me too. So I kind of feel that. But at first, Austin, I was against that. I was like, I'm not gonna. You just do you, and then I'm gonna do me. So like when she go on her girls trip, I'm gonna fly out there to Dallas and kick it with you and Elton. When she go on her girls trip, I'm gonna fly wherever else and do what I want. I wanted to go to New York. You know what I'm saying? And meet Fruit Guy in New York, and we go to the hip hop museum, and I do me when she on her thing. So I kind of feel now what you're saying, because at first I was like, no, when she go her way, I'm going my way. I'm not going to be stuck in the house. When she girl tripping, I'm tripping. So but I can kind of see what you were saying. That may be an option. We may can negotiate now, but I was 100% against that. You do you, and then I'm gonna do me. So then when it's time for me to do my male's trip, I'm hooking up with my friends and family, I don't want to hear nothing. Good for the
now,
goose, good for the gander type shit.
now my wife, she's going on a girls' trip without me, coming up soon, but she does it every year with her family. Because all the women in their family get together, from the grandmama, great grandmama on down, and they've been doing this for years. So that's the only trip
Yeah.
I'm
I
not gonna
remember
go on.
when she did that right before
So
y'all got married. We
yeah.
talking about it, and
So
you said you had some free time. Yeah, you actually
so
thought about coming this way, but yeah, I remember that. So
yeah.
that'd
So
be a good time for you to come out this way for a weekend.
yep. The bad thing is,
Oh,
well,
y'all got the
no.
baby now.
Yep. Well, no, the baby's gonna be with her.
Oh,
So we're actually moving the weekend prior to her leaving.
you found your spot.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got a nice little spot now. So we move on the first actually, and they're leaving on the 10th.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to see. I was looking at tickets,
Now,
man.
this is of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, July, beginning of July is a hellified, busy ass month. But pick this one out.
Most disrespectful thing in a relationship is if your man or your woman are still going to nightclubs when you guys are together. And you think, oh, we should go together. No, sweetheart. The moment you're in a relationship, your nightclub days should have been over a long time ago. You are out there. You are out there, and there's guys and girls ready to try to tempt you and take you home. And I know some of y'all are like, oh no, I would never cheat on my man. It doesn't matter, sweetheart. There's liquor pouring up. There's good looking guys. There's good looking girls. You don't know what's going to happen. So for you to put your man, or for you men to put your women in that situation, goes both ways, is disrespectful. Bro, I want to go to sleep in peace. not go to sleep at all. I'm gonna stay up all day to know if she got home safe and make sure she ain't with no dude, right? So y'all, when you're in a relationship, you better have that phase out of your life. Go to dinner, go to the movies, go bowling, enjoy your time together, not needing to be around people that are gonna try to hit on your girl or hit on your man the moment you walk away. You guys are putting yourself on a situation to where it's gonna be a breakup. I'm telling
He don't trust
Yeah.
his girl at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I mean I don't necessarily agree with that either because if that's
Yeah,
something that y'all like to do, that's something that y'all like to do.
yeah, that's
When
true.
before my wife and I, before we had Jax, we used to go to spots. We like live music, so we went
Yeah.
to lounges and listened to live music and stuff. Of course, there gonna be dudes that look at your girl or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
But who want a woman that ain't no guy looking at?
Right.
Exactly.
We were walking through the grocery store one day and my wife just had on some sweats and all that good stuff. And this day I was on the phone and I was lagging behind her a little bit out of his view. And I caught him looking at her. I was like, yeah, she sure fine as hell, ain't she?
But
And then
look,
he's
gentlemen, I got to drop off. I'm gonna let y'all have it the rest of this evening. I got to get ready to do some work on some stuff I got going. But it's been a pleasure. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for having me on. But I'm gonna see y'all next week.
all
All
right,
right,
bro.
Jordan.
Y'all have a blessed evening, man.
All right, you
You
too. Be
too, you
good.
too. Georgia, man. Hold it down. We gonna get it together. But um, yeah. So like you say, the compliments and everything is cool. It's what they do with it after that. Will
Right.
they keep going to that spot? Will they start speaking to the guy and asking him questions and vice versa? So, hey, can you help me with this? So, it's like, but that's usually result of a unhealthy relationship. And like like George was saying, I mean, we always get the co-hosts that come on here with the different mindsets, and we didn't pretty much been on all sides of the spectrum, so we understand where they're coming from, where they're going, and why they're why they're in the place that they're in. But yeah, my thing is it's just a trust. That guy don't trust his at all.
Mm-mm.
You have to have some form of trust, and then again you have to have that mindset where if you guys do break up, it just wasn't meant to be. You can't just hold a person, like you were saying earlier, hostage, trying to keep a person that don't want to be kept. And
Exactly.
but when you then been through hell, like I understand where the guy that I'm talking to y'all about and his wife, I understood where he's coming from, because if you done finally gave in, because he keeps saying he had a lot of women, but she the only one that caught him. She the only one who caught his heart, that he actually cared for. So when he only wants her to himself, is selfish, but I got it. But on the same note, it's two of y'all in that relationship.
Yeah.
So
It
him
ain't her
trying
fault.
to hold her, don't want her to be here, don't want her to go there, I get it. But on the same note, let her go where she want to go. Let her do what she want to do. And if it's not what you want to do, that's when you cut them loose. That's when you have to wean yourself off of them and let them go. Or, you have that talk. I don't like this. I don't like that. And if they still choose to be with the friends, still choose to hang out at the club, still choose to have male friends, whatever your don'ts are, and she still choose to do that, and like you would say, then typically that's just not your person. And you just have to move on from that. And like I say, I don't really believe in playing games anymore. I play my games. So I'll do it. I'll probably play a game once or twice. But with me knowing who I am, with me knowing my worth, I might play that game once or twice. Third time, I'm out of it. You know, if I even go that far, it just, you know, my tolerance is getting smaller and smaller. So, yeah, I mean, you do, I do, you do, I do. After that third I do, I'm like, you know what? I ain't feeling this. So if you want to keep doing that, you go do that, and then I'm gonna do this. But it's best that when I say that we go ahead and end the thing, because my mental is not gonna ever be the same again. Because I'm like, I'm gonna always feel like that's what you really want to do, even if you're not doing it. And so instead of me waking up every day and thinking what I'm thinking, I'd rather just get out of it, because you know, I'd rather bounce back than do, you know, than lack. That's just me. So that's why I say it's not hard work, but when you're dealing with someone else and you have to consider them in that relationship, to me, that's where work come in at. Peep him.
Girls going out with her girlfriends.
I mean, it's why?
Why does she want to go out? Because all of her girlfriends are single and they want to go out.
Okay, you're not single.
So she should stay home.
It's just like what good comes from that? Like, if you're single, yeah, whatever, by all means, go do your thing, right? But if you're not, then it's like you're just gonna find yourself in a situation where, like, especially if all your girlfriends are single, they're all just trying to probably find something, right? So by relationship, let's say you're the girl, you're in the relationship, all these other girls are single, and you're just around, like you're a part of that mix. You're a part of that energy of like the trying, the finding out, like. And obviously, you know, it takes a strong person who's got to be like loyal to be like, okay, like, no, like just dismiss whatever's coming her way.
Yeah.
But I think in settings like that, I think it's easier for girls and for guys, both cases here, to just like fall into what it is, because of not the pure, you know, just the idea that like, oh, all my friends are doing this, like it's okay.
Yes,
for me
and
to,
the atmosphere and the
Yeah.
drinks going and the vibes and the dark setting.
So maybe you're a little bit like, oh, I'll give this guy this energy.
His girl kind of weak, right? You guys go through some stuff, man. And on the cool, you know, we once, both of us once thought similarly to what we're hearing these guys saying. It's been 10, 15, maybe 20. It's been 20 years ago, but we thought like that before. Why are you going here? You know, and then with them songs and blues songs say, yeah, somebody showed their teeth to you, and now you think you this and that, you know, first girl who skinned her teeth. But you know, I feel where they're coming from, but it's funny now because I guess I was once deep in that you know, thinking like that. I'm just like 7, 8 years old, 7, 8 years ago, old, changing my thoughts. Every day I change my thoughts. I have new thoughts now that I didn't have 2 years ago. But the key is you can't watch no pussycat 24 hours a day. And she can't watch no eggplant 24 hours a day. So people are going to do what they want to do, what they're going to do. All of them grown. And when you see them doing what they want to do and it's not what you want them to do, then that's time for you to get out of it. Now, people, she said about why women go out. Keep this.
Why do women go to the club?
Well, here's the thing. I'm a married woman.
I love it.
As of a month ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have not answered the question. You did not answer the question.
Go to the club because they want to dance. And if they see someone they want to go home with, they finna dance on him.
Dang. Is that how you met your husband?
No.
They go to the meet guys, dates, and then they dance on him if they like him.
Yes.
So if a girl is dancing on me, that's how I know that she likes me.
Yes. They go to the club to dance with their girls. If it's a girls' night, they go out, they dance. If they dancing on you, you know they into you.
Ah, I love it. Okay. Do you have any last words, any last nuggets to drop for all the men out there that are looking for women at clubs?
I would say dance with them. Get with it, bro. Let's go.
Now, if that was your woman, how much trust would you have in that?
None, because it makes no sense. That's just
hey,
stupidity.
If they dance on them, they like you, bro. And hearing her say that, it was quite a few when I was single and doing my thing. Like, nigga, they used to always come over there and try to dance, and looking back, and I kind of ease away, but I didn't know that that's what that meant, that if they dance on you, a lot of times they like you. Because I'm like, get away from me. I really wasn't. I don't like women coming on to me, man. That's kind of turn off to me. I could do the flirt thing a little, but when they too aggressive coming on to me, that's a turn off. Because I'll be thinking, my mind be like, okay, who did she do this to yesterday? Who did she do this to last week? I just I think like that, and I never wanted community cat. That just wasn't something I chased, and especially being in my profession, I see that all the time. So drunk and community cat is not something I wanted. Now, peep him.
My girl is not going to the club without me. It's not happening. And what I want women to understand is that's not controlling, right? I'm gonna tell you that I don't want you to do it without me, right? But if you decide to do it anyway, you're just single, right? Because you need to choose between, are you gonna be a wife or not? Because that's not what a wife does, right? It goes back to being territorial. When you're at a club, especially if you're pretty, you're getting, even if you were super trustworthy, it's not that I don't trust you. You are going to be hit on all night. You're going to be sexually pursued all night. Even if it's very unwanted attention, right? Why are you putting yourself in that situation too? And think of this, like, as a man, I'm thinking further than that. What if your drink gets spiked, right? What if some dude, right, decides to do something? We don't know how to. It's not that I want women to understand, it's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust other men because I know how other men can act, right? Especially men who are not in control of their own emotions.
Now, I'm kind of feeling him on that. If we go out, if she wants to go out, and let's just say, and it's not going to be no regular every weekend or every other weekend type deal, but let's just say we pick one night a month and we actually, we go out, she go out with her friends. I can see, like you just said, I can see going and her and her friends being one section and me and the boyfriends, our husbands or whatever, we do our thing on the other side. You know what I'm saying? That way they doing them, we doing us. So if something happened, and like I said, when you brought up the girls trip thing, hey, I'm ready to go. All right, and I tell the fellas, hey man, they ready to go. And and we, do our thing. That way you ain't up under them, they ain't up under you, they're enjoying their women. I can kind of see that. And it's because things can happen like that. Mm-hmm. But then again, why even put yourself or your other in that position though? So that falls back to what I said earlier. I'll do it, but I'm not pressed on doing it because I know the atmosphere because I'm in it. And I've seen a whole lot. I've seen couples who I thought were couples of the century. And when that person coming there by herself, I see her at the bar. I see 3 or 4 different guys buying drinks. Then I end up seeing one guy stay at the bar and talk.
My thing is, so like if your wife has a single friend and she's having like a birthday party or something of that nature, and it's all women going, then the friend should know her boundaries and be like, well, I know she ain't going to the club, so I'm gonna have to set up a separate event if you want to kick it with her.
Right.
And your wife should be like, girl, I ain't going to no club. Now we can go do brunch or we can go do dinner.
Yeah.
To celebrate. So y'all get with me, on another day and we can do that. But
even the day party.
Club. Huh?
They have day parties. I'm cool with day parties. But yeah, now you hit that on the head. And this is what she said. And I respect her. And this the angle that I think my wife be hitting at with the people we be working with. Peep this up.
Hey guys, this is for all my married friends who have happily single friends. So sometimes our single friends will ask the question, oh, why do you need permission to ask your spouse to hang out? So this is what you tell them. It's not about permission. It's about respect. Why would I risk my happy home just for a night of fun? I love my single friends, but I'm not the club friend anymore. I'm sorry. But I will be the brunch friend, the lunch friend, the spa friend, the nail salon friend. I'm that friend. But that doesn't come at the cost of the relationship with the man that I choose to spend the rest of my life with. He is not my property, and I am not his. But we choose to communicate with each other indefinitely for the rest of our life based on the vows that we took. Because not only does communicating increase your lifelong expectancy of your marriage, but it builds trust with one another when you can be open and honest about the things you want to do outside of your marriage.
That's what that
Okay,
is.
I got utmost respect for her, and I get it, because at first when I hear, because I'm used to the club scene, when I hear I be needing to hang out with women, or I want to hang out with female friends, I always think the club. That's what I thought. But there's brunch, there's lunch, and there's things that they can do to 7 p.m., 8 p.m., you know, in the daytime. But me coming from the background, I'm thinking 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, hanging out in the damn club, turning up, you know, with the guys walking around in their best outfits and their most expensive cologne, and the women walking around there, you know, turning up, getting drunk, with their ass out, poked out, trying to twerk. That's all I see on social media, and that's all I used to see in the club. But there is elegant things that they can go to: wine tasting, brunch, rooftop things. You know, it's just a lot to do here. Little boutiques that they can shop at, nail salons. You know, it's just a lot that they can do in the middle of the day. You know, 11 o'clock, leave the house, be back home by 5. You know, so it's not a club atmosphere. And the difference in that, because like you say, they can bend over and do anything at any time. But the difference in the daytime action compared to the club was mostly set up for single mingle. You know, a lot of people, you know, some of them go in there if they're a couple, that's different, but it's set up for single mingle. It's when you bored and you looking for somebody, you go to the club, and it's usually to go get your rocks off, you know, most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And that's what I think these guys were saying.
I do not mind if Laura has my password. The true measure of any relationship.
Now that's a skit that I'm gonna show. But let me find these guys. They were sitting at the table discussing this one.
I just want to know, why does going out have to affect your marriage? Why can't I just go out with my friends, have a couple drinks
Hold on.
at the bar?
Hold on, time out.
Hold on. You gotta have enough trust in the marriage to be able to let my wife or my significant other go ahead and do that.
I'm gonna tell you why. Why are you going out with a group of women without your husband?
I did that too.
He went with us.
Don't
cut the house off. Time out. Listen, clubs are meant for single people. We go to clubs to look for women to fuck. I'm just telling you straight up. We don't go to have a good time. We don't go to dance. We go to look for prospects to fuck. We're not looking for wives. We're not looking for girlfriends.
And also mean with the homies.
Stop
you know what I'm
cutting
saying?
off the host.
No, I'm just saying. We not. No. I'm not going to see if I'm gonna see viral there. You get what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. No, look. I'm telling you as a man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you as a
Please
man.
pick me.
This is why we go to clubs.
Please pick
when
me.
we see you in the club, oh, little light skin there. Yeah, I'm trying to knock that down. So I'm gonna come buy you a drink, game you up, whatever the case. So just say you got a husband and you don't cheat. Why would you put yourself in that predicament anyways to get that kind of attention? Because anything can happen in the club, and now you putting your husband in a predicament. What if you turn that guy down and he slapped the shit out you? Now your husband got to come. Now your husband got to come deal with a situation that you could have avoided by not even putting yourself in that position at all.
That's a matter of opinion, sir.
No,
that's a matter of opinion.
What's
the opinion about that?
Bree been quiet. Let's Bree answer that.
So I'm a little confused. Are single people not supposed to be friends with married people? Like,
No.
that's what they say.
Married women should not hang out with single women. Absolutely not. You have nothing in common. You have nothing in common. If I'm married and you're single, when you go out, you want to attract men. So we go to the club. Listen, if we go to the club, guys gonna want to pull you in their section. If I'm married, guess what? I'm carrying my husband's name and reputation around. That is true. What do you look like as a married woman in some random guy's section with your homegirl trying to go suck dick for a free bottle?
All right, Austin, we about to land the ship. Go ahead and comment on that. Did he make sense?
To a certain extent. So my wife has single friends. They've been friends for years. So I'm not gonna say, babe, you can't go hang with your single friends. But she chooses the places that she's going to hang at. And most of the time it's during the day. Most of the time it's lunch, brunch, or if it's in the evening, it's a dinner or something of that nature. So your wife has the duty to set the boundaries if her friends cannot. So I agree with what he said about going to the club and then these guys trying to hit on you, and you know some guys don't have their emotions in check and they get turned down, then they want to hit on the woman or grab on the woman or whatever. So why would you want to put yourself in that type of situation? Even though it can happen just about anywhere, but it's more likely to happen in a club setting, right? Where there's drinking, music, and all those good things going on. So
Yeah.
why put yourself in that predicament? And then it's all about trusting who you're with, that they know how to establish boundaries, not only just for themselves, but for those that appear or those that hang with them that appear that they don't know the boundaries. So they know how to, if the friends can't set their boundaries, then your spouse, whoever you're dealing with, they set the boundaries for them, or they set up a trench, meaning that you can't cross,
Yeah.
So it's I can't go with that rule that single women
can have
married
single
women
women.
shouldn't hang with single women.
Right.
It's where you hang with them. It's how you establish what rules you establish, and then again, you and your spouse should have those rules already in place before these things start to happen.
Conversation, communication. Now,
Exactly.
people, now this the girl trip one. People out.
Your girl's got a couple of single friends who like to go out to the clubs every weekend. They're going to be the hoe friends, the thought friends.
Behavior friends.
This is not. Just because my friends are acting crazy does not mean I'm going to act crazy. I think it's important to trust your partner and give them the benefit of the doubt.
It's the types of situations those friends get you in.
What'd you say?
Something about it's high risk.
I'm a general woman. You don't get to blame your friends if you do something shitty that jeopardizes your relationship. That's
you should blame
on
yourself because you're surrounding
You don't
yourself
get
with
to
those
blame
friends.
your friends for that.
Blame yourself for surrounding yourself with bad company.
But you saw how quick she was saying women will get other women tied up, and then they'll just, hey girl, be the wingman. Then when the man walk in and see her talking, and you can't blame me for messing your relationship up. So I guess that goes to what you was just saying. Your spouse has to be the one who set the tone, set the boundaries. So when she say be a wingman, the wife should say, hell no, be the wing woman. I'm not finna be the wing woman.
I had the most awkward situation on a girls' trip where I'm the only married girl in my group of friends. I ended up rooming with somebody that was single, and at the end of a fun night, she wanted to bring someone back. Now I'm in my room, and I'm like, there's two guys in my room, like drinking and still hanging out. It was a guy and his friend, yeah.
Oh, so that was supposed to be for you.
No, and that's the point. Now I'm in my room on the phone like, there's dudes in the room. Like, I feel mad uncomfortable. Like, I think I have to be wiser because maybe that wasn't the trip I should have been on.
Okay, now, girls trip, your wife called you. It's two guys in the room. It's 12:30 a.m. where they are. Two guys in the room drinking. How comfortable are you with that?
I'm catching a flight and get in the room
But
and be like, "You coming on? Come on."
But what's up with your? But no. You're supposed to have trust that your wife. You
do.
just told
It's
George.
so, yeah, you have trust in your wife that nothing's going to happen, that she's not going to initiate anything. But this person is drinking. That's how people get raped. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She didn't put herself in that situation. Her friend put her in that situation. So if her friend passes out, right, and these dudes like, man, hey, oh girl, she looking good. Let's go and take this. You know what I'm saying? She don't know these people. So now you put your friend has put you in a dangerous situation. So at that point, it doesn't have anything to do with trusting your girl.
Right.
It's
But
about
what
your
did the
girl
girl
being
say?
safe.
Anyway, they in here getting loud. I'm gonna hit you back before I go to bed.
Well, I mean, still, you still have to
Still
trust
that
your
flight still.
yeah, you still have to trust your girl though. And you know, you just have to trust her. So in that situation, either you got two choices, three choices.
What's the choice? Break them down.
She gonna either tell those people that they need to leave. She's going to go get her own room, or you gonna stay on the phone with me till my flight takes off and land.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And with that, dude, we done went over our time. This man done made my goddamn night. I'm probably gonna be thinking about this shit tomorrow, man. You crazy. But yeah, I'm trying to block this shit out. But that wraps it up, man. That was our episode on should married people engage in single people activities. And the talk was mostly about them going to the club, a couple of girl trips, and hanging around, getting feminine energy. And what we got out of that was pick the date, pick a time to do this. Brunch, lunch, dinner. It doesn't necessarily have to be a nightclub. And then if you do a nightclub every once in a while, it's okay for the married person to bring their spouse or significant other. And that's whether the man going out with his friends or she's going out with her friends, get different sides of the club, and you all turn up and enjoy each other, because anything can happen. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's a trust issue. It's just that anything can happen. Men are more aggressive now. Women are more flirtatious when they have alcohol and weed in their system, and that's what's at the club. So did we establish that? So it doesn't really matter whether you have the trust or not. Sometimes it's just don't put yourself in situations where you have to explain why you're there. So married people can engage in single people supposedly activities, but they have to have self-control and have boundaries, and number one, respect for their relationship and their significant other while they're in those places. So that's what I concluded from what we talked about tonight. Because like I say, this podcast, relationships and everything we talk about, I actually learned from them myself, and they actually helped me make my relationship better. All right, Austin, sum up what you got out of it, or what I missed, because I'm sure I missed something.
No, you summed it up.
Summed it all tonight.
Yeah, that was good.
But I'm gonna keep drinking what I'm drinking, because this had me straight tonight.
That's what's up.
But with that being said, Speak On It podcast, and once again, my prayers go out to the Lions and the Barnes family in Bastrop. Man, that was a tragedy. So I just hope someone step up and justice be done. But till next week, same time, same channel. What's next week? Okay, we have to end. Yeah, so yeah, we got 2 more good episodes before the hip hop thing. So we're gonna keep coming with more topics. This was the first Speak On It 2K24 of the summer, because summer just came in last week. So we're gonna keep it steamy, we're gonna keep it hot. But right now we finna dock the ship, and like we say, what they say, Autumn, what is it, Austin?
They talking about it, so we might as well speak on it.
And with that being said, we out. What we say? Peace.
What you think, man? I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is, mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Like, I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is? Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men, because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me? Right. Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are, like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. that's providing, right? I'm going to provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.